Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The state fire code requires us to inform you that in case of an emergency, everyone should exit the double doors at the end of the gym and proceed directly outside. Section 5 Athletic Association, along with the Andover and Elba athletic departments, promote good sportsmanship. So let the officials officiate and let the spectators be loud and proud. The administration, faculty, students, and staff here at Letchworth wish to welcome you to the home of the Letchworth Central Lady Indians. It is our honor and privilege to host tonight's Section 5, Class D2 2020 Ladies Finals. This is the night that you have all been working toward. The winners tonight take home the coveted Section 5 Class D2 trophy and individual patches to proclaim for years to come that they are champions. This year's final opponents are from the Allegheny County League with a record of 17-6, the number 6 seeded Lady Panthers of Andover in their Crown Blues. Against the Genesee County with a record of 20-2, number 1 seeded Lady Lancers of Elba. To all the service women and men from around the world, especially those from Andover and Elba school districts, our nation salutes you. To honor them, will you all please rise, remove your hats and cover your hearts for the playing of our national anthem. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for tonight's D2 championship game. From the Lady Panthers of Avon, number 11, Tess Bangenberg. From the Lady Lancers, number 1, Taylor Agello. From the Lady Panthers, number 12, Caitlin Kallenstein. From the Lady Lancers, number 2, Maddie Mueller. From the Lady Panthers, number 20, Livia Simmer. From the Lady Lancers, number 3, Leah Biza. From the Lady Panthers, number 21, Emily Wall. From the Lady Lancers, number 13, Lawrence Engel. From the Lady Panthers, number 23, Kelsey Niemeyer. And from the Lady Lancers, number 33, Brent Walzak. led by Coach Jacob Bannerman of Andover and Coach Tom Redmond of Elba. The rest of your Lady Panthers and Lady Lancers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Letchworth High School, where we have Section 5 girls basketball on tap for you tonight. It's the Class D2 final between the Elba Lady Lancers and the Andover Panthers. Elba enters as the top seed while Andover comes in as the number 6 seed. The Lancers come in with a 20-2 record and the Panthers at 17-6. My name is Alex Brasky alongside Mike Rose here for the NFHS Network as well as the Batavia Daily News. Mike, give us a quick breakdown on what you expect from tonight's game.
Yeah, these are two really quality teams. Andover, the 6th seed in this bracket, but they're a lot better than that indicates. They've had a strong season. They've won 6 in a row. They've won in blowout fashion to get here, most recently a 10-point win over Whitesville. Elba, meanwhile, is the 3-time defending sectional champion. They come into this one 20-2, and they've been dominant all season long. So a couple of really high-quality teams here.
All right, here we go, ready to tip it off from Letchworth High School. The Class D2 final between Elba and Andover. Andover starts with possession. These are two teams that have plenty of familiarity with one another, as Elba has eliminated Andover from the postseason 2 of the last 3 seasons. A travel call there on Elba's Taylor Augello. Apologize for that. We're having some scoreboard issues here. We will get that going as soon as possible. And we're off with the scoreboard. Nothing like a little high school basketball. Little problems happen here and there as a deep jumper is banked in from the corner. And Andover with the first lead of the game. It was Tess Spangenberg with a banked-in three-pointer from the corner, something you don't see very often, Mike.
Yeah, definitely a tough angle on that bank shot.
Long two for Leah Bizon, and Elba has tied the game. Bizon, one of many juniors for this Elba team, who has only one senior, so 3-time defending sectional champion. That's right, you heard that correct. 3-time defending champion Elba, as a rejection from Kelsey Niedermeyer of Bryn Walzak. 3-time defending champion Elba, paced by a long list of juniors. Only one senior on the team, Mike.
Yeah, and even with so few seniors, they still have a lot of experience on this team. This core has been together for much of this run, so definitely not going to be too big of a moment for them tonight.
So all square at 2 apiece in the early going. Minute and a half in to this first quarter. Elba head coach Tom Redmond spoke with him prior to the game, and he says these ladies aren't feeling any pressure despite trying to defend their title, which they've won 3 straight years. Niedermeyer on the putback, no good, rebounded by Walzak. Just a quick reminder, we will have the Class D1 final following this game. That one between number 1 Fillmore and number 7 Pavilion, as Taylor Augello gets a layup to go, and Elba leads for the first time. 2:15 into this game. Ball awarded to Elba, foul called on Niedermeyer.
Number 23.
In Elba, that press defense has been working wonders for them so far throughout this sectional tournament, so expect them to continue to employ that throughout this entire evening.
Yeah, it's not an overwhelming amount of size for this Elba team, but they're quick and they're very disciplined on defense. 3 ball from Maddie Mulick, no good, rebounded by Taylor Augello. Back to Augello, puts it on the ground. No good. Rebound goes to Walzak. Knocked around. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Andover ball. Great hustle being shown in the early going, Mike.
Yeah, both these teams are going to leave it all on the line in this sectional championship game. And one thing you'll notice throughout this game with Elba, and what makes them so tough to defend is, you mentioned not a lot of size. They'll just spread you out, 5 out, and that'll open up huge driving lanes for them.
So travel call there on Emily Wall. The ball will go back to Elba. Emily Wall leads the team, Andover that is, with 17.3 points per game to go with 4 rebounds and 2 steals per game. So Elba will have to keep a close eye on Wall all night as Mulich fires up another 3, another rim out. And this time Niedermeyer able to snare the rebound. But Walzak takes it away. 3 ball, no good. Hustling after it was Engel, and that's going to be a foul. Engel, the lone senior for this Elba team, really can shoot it from the outside, Mike.
Yeah, and a lot of these ladies on this team can really shoot it from the outside, and they're not going to hesitate to let it fly from the three-point line all night. They'll get a lot of threes up in this game.
Also leading Andover this season has been sophomore guard Tess Spangenberg, 10 points and 4.5 rebounds per night, while Niedermeyer averages 9 points per game. Jello all the way to the rim, and that's going to be a jump ball. Good defense there from the Lady Panthers. So a low-scoring game early on. It's featured a few turnovers from either side as Mulig tries to get that one to go, and she can't. So Mulig 0 for 3 to start this game, but she's had 3 good looks, and shots really haven't looked ugly tonight. They've just not been going in.
Yeah, Alex, and me and you were talking before the game, and we kind of said if it's going to be a low-scoring game, that's going to favor Andover and their ability to try and win this game because they don't quite have the scoring punch, I think, if this turns into a track meet.
Yeah, I think you said before the game Andover, the most they've scored this season is 61, while Elba averages 58 points per game. Inside to Walzak, great look, but can't get the finish. Niedermeyer all over the defensive boards for the Panthers in the early going. And I'll tell you what, it's a matchup to watch because Elba certainly does not have a matchup for Niedermeyer inside, especially on the glass.
Yeah, she has a big size advantage, so that's something Andover's going to have to look to take advantage of if they want to win this game.
Wall all the way to the rim. Nice layup from Emily Wall, ties it at 4. Walzak to the rim. And Elba just cannot get these close finishes, close to the basket finishes, Mike.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good looks inside, which, they like to go inside early and then stretch out later with the threes. But right now, they can't buy a bucket in the paint. And that also kind of plays in because when Elba's unable to get a bucket, they can't set up their press.
3 ball from Wall, no good. Goes off the cage up top, and it's going to go back to Elba. Substitution coming on. We have Dakota Brinkman coming on for Engel. Brinkman was injured along with Mulig at the start of this season, but their presence in this Lancers lineup makes this Elba team that was already scary even scarier. Three ball, Taylor, Jello, and Elba with a 7-4 lead. It's going to be a foul called on Elba.
Fouls on number 22, Dakota Brinkman.
Niedermeyer gets it away. Wide open layup. But Andover can't get the finish.
Those are opportunities you got to take advantage of.
It was Caitlin Calladine on the missed layup for Andover. And you're right, Mike. Andover's really going to have to take care of those wide open opportunities because a great team like Elba, they're not going to give you many of them.
They're far and few between against the stingy Elba defense.
So 1:40 to go now in this first quarter. 3-point lead for the Lancers. Three ball, no good. Over the back call on Brinkman. I'll tell you what, Mike, as good as this Elba team is, Andover head coach Jacob Bannerman has done a great job with this program. Like I said, always late in the postseason, or I should say advancing late into the postseason. And as I said before, Elba, 2 straight seasons that they eliminated the Panthers from the postseason, 3 and 2 years ago.
Yeah, and this Andover team has won at least 16 games each of the last 4 years. So this is a really, really high-quality program that is always competitive in this classification.
So Olivia Simon, a junior, another tall junior for this Andover team, Mike. So that leads you to believe we could see this rematch next year with so many juniors involved on both sides.
There's no doubt about it that neither of these programs are going anywhere.
Simon, 2 for 2, and banks open here at Letchworth High School. 1:25 to go. Andover doing a great job hanging around, and Elba leads by just 1. Timeout called by Elba. Just a reminder, following this game, we will have the Class D1 final for you between, as the Maroon Platoon gives me a shout out down there. Gotta love those guys. But as I said before, in the Class D1 final between number 1 Fillmore and number 7 Pavilion, Mike, we'll have that one coming up next. What do you see from that game?
Well, this is a Pavilion team that was the number 7 seed, and they've gone on a run, and you know, in some cases you say maybe a fluky run, but they've handled all 3 of their opponents in sectional play so far, winning by double digits in all 3 of those games. And they face a Fillmore team that's 20-2 on the season, the number 1 seed in that classification. So a red-hot Pavilion team against the number 1 seed in the bracket. It should be a great game.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. And another game I was excited for was Calmum versus York in the Class C3 boys final. But Mike, what I thought was going to be a great game turned into a blowout even before halftime, and now at the end of the third quarter, Calmum leads York by 26.
Dominant showing.
That's something not many expected, as those are 2 hated rivals, and York has beat Calmum already this season, 1 out of 3 regular season matchups, so a surprising blowout for the Red Raiders tonight, who look like they're going to win their 2nd straight Class C3 title. That'll be the first back-to-back championships in school history for the Red Raiders.
And basketball can be a strange game sometimes. If you face a team enough, you can find an advantage that you can take advantage of moving forward, and it looks like the Red Raiders did just that.
So we get our clock reset. Apologize for that. Wall to the basket. No good. Rebounded by Simon, who puts it back. So we're now at 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And Andover, Mike, is taking their 2nd lead of the game at 8-7.
Yeah, they're definitely playing this Elba team tight so far in this first quarter. And that was key. An Elba team that is very capable of going on runs. They haven't allowed any of those yet.
Inside to Bizon, swatted away. Jumper no good, a lot of contact, no call. Great hustle from Wall. Niedermeyer, no good. I'll tell you what, Mike, in the early going, Andover looks like the team who wants it more, but nonetheless, we go to the second quarter, 8-7, Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break. All right, here we go. Back to action. The Class D2 final. Elba currently trailing Andover 8-7. Give us a quick recap of what you saw in that first quarter, Mike.
Andover did a really good job defensively, not allowing any easy drives to the basket by Elba, and offensively they were able to create some easy looks for themselves, and they find themselves in front by a point.
One thing I have been impressed by with the Panthers is their, excuse me as I look at something, is Andover's hustle so far early in this game, Mike. It's really made a difference for them on both ends.
Yeah, they've definitely been the first to all the loose balls, and that's definitely helped them get in front.
3-ball for Angle, no good, and that's another factor, Mike. Elba, ice cold from the outside thus far.
Yeah, they're going to have to start knocking down some three-pointers. It's a really critical part of their offense if they want to win this game.
Andover, another good look. Can't get that one to go. Here comes Elba. Mulig for 3. Not a great shot there, Mike, as early in the shot clock, kind of with a hand in your face. Not so sure about that decision there.
Yeah, it looked like Elba right now maybe pressing a little bit. Their drives to the basket have been clogged up most of the night, and so they're trying to get those three-pointers to go, but they're settling for some really tough looks.
3-ball from Walzak. This one is cash money. Bryn Walzak puts Elba back in the lead, 10-8.
Not surprising that Walzak would be the one that takes the lid off the basket for this Elba team, the leading scorer averaging 17.5 points per game.
Now Walzak, great player for this Elba team, has really come on, but a 3-ball answer from Tess Spangenberg forces another timeout and gives Andover back the lead.
That's going to be critical for this Andover team. They're not a team that scored a lot this year. We talked about that already. So if they can find some three-point shooting in this game to keep pace with Elba, I mean, that's going to really allow them to play a tight game to the end, and then they can let their defense kind of carry them the rest of the way.
Big three-pointer from Spangenberg from the corner. Wow, this Panthers team is playing well. All right, here we go, back to action. 6:21 to go in the first half. Andover giving top seed and 3-time defending champ Elba all they can handle in the early going. Mulig from the corner. She's just been off her in the early going, Mike, as that one's rejected by Niedermeyer off the Lancers. Ball goes back to the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Elba if they're not going to be able to make the threes, because the size disadvantage they're at inside is no joke. And
you might be seeing an adjustment based on that right now as the Lancers come out in that full court press and immediately cause a turnover and draw a foul. I think you hit the nail on the head, Mike. I think they're going to have to speed this game up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's when they're at their best. We've seen all year anyways, when they speed the game up and get the scoring up higher into the 60s and 70s. That's where Elba has a lot of success.
Inside to Bizon. Bizon, a lot of contact, finishes through. That's another one who's been quiet in the early going, Mike, but if she can start getting involved, that'll be big for this Lancers team. Another turnover from the Panthers, and here comes Elba on the run. Kick back out to Angle for 3. No good. Rebound goes to Simon.
If Elba could start to string together some buckets offensively and get into that press, though, I mean, they can go on a run in a hurry. It happened in their opening round sectional matchup that I was at. They went to that press and just absolutely buried their first round opponent. So something to keep an eye on.
Ball back to the Lancers. And yes, Mike, their first round sectional win, 66-27 over number 8 Houghton in their semifinal win was a 60-25 win over number 4 Hinsdale. So this Elba team really hasn't been tested in the postseason, but they're being tested so far here tonight. Good ball movement from Elba. Angle for 3, no good. Rebound to Augello. Elba, 3-point lead.
Those are the kind of buckets you can't give up if you're Andover. You have the size advantage inside. You have to utilize it and finish off defensive possessions where you get a stop.
That looked like a travel, Mike, but no call.
Definitely looked like a travel.
Good hustle there once again shown by Wall as she remains down behind the play. That could be a big injury for the Panthers as Emily Wall behind the play remains down after fighting for that loose ball with Leah Bizon. We hope she's okay.
Yeah, definitely hope she's okay. She took a hard fall there, and like you said, Andover really going after all these loose balls, and Wall was trying to make a play there. It looks like she's all right, though.
I'll tell you what, that's just a example of Wall, a senior who's been on this team for 4 years. That's her just fighting her way to hopefully is a sectional title to close her career. That's just a senior that doesn't want to see her career come to an end.
Yep, you can always see it in these sectional games. These seniors that have been doing it for a number of years like she has and doing it at a high level, they want to go out on top if they can, and she's going to leave it all out here tonight. There's no doubt about it.
So midway through this second quarter, 14-11, Elba lead. And Elba comes out of that full court pressure, but that doesn't stop them from trapping in the half court.
And it's worth noting Elba had a 4-on-5 with Wall down on that play, and they did not score.
Yes, and they took another 3 and another missed 3, and usually in an odd man, odd woman situation, you see a team look to get the ball inside, but not the case there. Niedermeyer picks up her dribble, able to get it away. Inside to Simon. Simon fires one up, no good. Rebound goes to Augello. That's going to be a push called on Andover's Tess Spangenberg, her first. That'll give Elba the ball underneath. Simon checks out. Wall checks back in, so good to see her back on the floor. 3-ball, Leah Bizon. 5 points in the second quarter has helped lead Elba to what is now a 6-point lead with 3:14 to go here in the second quarter.
One of the most dangerous things about the Lady Lancers is the foul there is this entire starting lineup really can make shots from anywhere on the floor. They're all good shooters. They're all capable of taking you off the dribble. And, every night it's a different one of them stepping up, and so far in the second quarter it's been Bizon.
So Niedermeyer heads to the line, misses the first. One for 2, Kelsey Niedermeyer. 3 minutes to play in this first half. Elba trying to gain some distance between themselves and this gritty Panthers squad. Inside to Walzak, triple teamed, out to Mulig. She just can't find that range from that 3-point line. But I'll tell you what, one thing I'd be confident with if I'm Elba head coach Tom Redband is she's continuing to shoot, and that's what you're going to need from her down this stretch of this postseason. Elba, a team that's looking to advance not only past this sectional final game, but to their first state Final Four in this streak. They have yet to win that Far West Regional game, and something you're going to need is players like Mulig to find their stroke. Augello can't get the follow. Kicks back out to Bizon, over to Engel. No good. And that's going to be a push-off called on Augello.
But yeah, there's no doubt this entire Elba team, they're going to continue to shoot the basketball even if they're not going down. It hasn't been a pretty first half from the three-point line, but that is not going to stop any single one of them from continuing to fire away from the three-point line. They believe in their system that's had so much success over the last 3 years, and they're not going to shy away from it.
And curiously, it's the Lancers, perhaps their two best three-point shooters, and Engel and Mulig, have yet to make one, while Bizon and I believe Augello have already cashed on three-pointers, as has Walzak. Inside to Niedermeyer. Right back to Caitlin Calladine, and she's fouled before the shot clock expires, and she'll head to the line for 2 shots.
And I mean, those are picture-perfect possessions by Andover. Work the clock deep and then able to get 2 free throw attempts here at the line. That's the kind of game they want to play. They're a defensive team. They're not a super high-scoring team, so that's a picture-perfect possession if they can cash in on the free throws.
Calladine gets the first one to go. One for 2, Caitlin Calladine. And Elba will try to add to its lead. 1:30 to go here in the first half. Walzak gets it stripped away. And I'm not so sure about that one, Mike.
Yeah, that was tough to see from up here. It looked like it was knocked away from Walzak out of bounds, but the officials are going to say she knocked it out last.
Looked like a travel there, but no call. Wall to the rim. Andover within 2.
Some fortunate whistles here in this, and non-whistles in this little stretch here by Andover, but nonetheless, they cut it to 2 with just a minute to play here.
So we'll see if Elba can answer inside the final minute of the first half. All the way around the horn to Brinkman. It's rejected by Niedermeyer. I'm sorry if that was out of the frame. I am on the camera as well as the play-by-play, and it may be one of my first mistakes of the night there, Mike. But nonetheless, a great rejection from Kelsey Niedermeyer. Ball rolling around on the ground. Who's got it? Elba comes away with it. A little sloppy camera work to end the first half on my part. And that's a little sloppy possession by Elba as a shot clock violation gives the ball back to the Panthers. So I apologize for that camera work. I'll be better as the game goes, I promise. But with 37 seconds to go, Andover has a chance to tie or take the lead here, Mike.
Yeah, great defensive possession there by Andover.
3 ball, no good from Tess Spangenberg. Ball goes back to Elba.
And I don't like that shot. I would have held deeper into the clock there to see if you can't maybe get the last shot of this half. And Elba looks like they'll do just that.
So Elba will hold until inside 10 seconds, and now they'll look to get the final bucket of this first half. Bizon can't get the reverse. Niedermeyer on the rebound. Wall not in time. Great first half for Andover. We head to the halftime break. Elba ahead 17-15. We'll be back with the second half of action here from Letchworth High School. All right, Mike, a special occasion here at Letchworth High School. We have the man, the myth, the legend, John Anderson, former managing editor of the Batavia Daily News, here in town from Texas, came solely for this game because he had a feeling this was going to be a good one, John. I mean, he came all the way from Texas for this game, 2-point game at the half. What do you think?
Well, a great game, and it's, and I wanted to see the NHFS live. I watch all the games streaming, so I had to come up here to New York to see this in action. Tremendous. Elba, again, the tradition in winning and how good they've been the last couple of years, you could tell is just really talented, good basketball players. But one of the beauties in all sports, here in football all the time, defense wins championships. Andover has been so scrappy, limiting them, how many shots they get. Elba's only had a few wide open looks, and I think Elba is a better basketball team, but Andover's just playing better overall basketball defense.
And harder, I think.
Yeah, they're playing with a lot more aggression, and you've seen this a ton of times, Alex. Sectional finals, as good as you are, there's just something about a sectional final that just levels the playing field, and I think that's why we love the Section 5 basketball tournament in New York State, because there are so many upsets. During the season, we know this in football or basketball, you already know who's going to win most of the games. But when it comes to a sectional final, you never know who's going to win.
Yes, and we saw that with, right here, the Letchworth Lady Indians, number 11 seed, advancing to the finals. But, John, I got to ask you, what's it like in Texas? They say everything's bigger down there. Is that, in fact, true?
It is true. After living my whole life in New York, Texas is tremendous, very business friendly, overall it's just a great state to do business, and so I have a new appreciation for anyone who tries to run or own a business in New York.
Now let me ask you a question. As much as you love Texas, you gotta miss working with the best sports staff in maybe the world, the Batavia Daily News sports staff, myself, Nate Ryder, Chris Metcalf. How much do you miss working alongside us three and how good we are?
Well, as you know, Alex, I've run a lot of newspapers. I've worked for 5 or 6 papers. I've worked with a ton of sports guys. But of all the sports guys I've ever worked with, you guys are one of them.
Couldn't expect anything less from John. And we'll be right here with the second half of action, 40 seconds to go in halftime. All right, here we go. Second half of action. Number 1 Elba leading number 6 Andover just by 2 to begin the third quarter. Elba will begin with possession. The Lady Lancers trying to defend their 3 straight sectional titles, but the Panthers not making it easy on them thus far, Mike.
Yeah, and I don't expect it to get any easier in the second half. Andover clearly, as they get another turnover force there, came to play tonight. They've brought their defensive intensity, and that has been huge for them in keeping this game close.
Now, no disrespect to this Andover team, but this would be an upset for the ages, as a 3-time champion being dethroned is something you don't see very often, especially when that team has all their players back from the season before. Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. Niedermeyer ties the game for Andover. 7:15 to go, third quarter.
And that's that size advantage that we haven't seen Andover utilize a ton, but when they have been able to get it going in there, it's been effective.
Another turnover from the Lady Lancers. Andover's size and overall length wreaking havoc on this Elba team.
And that is a really, really poor foul there by the Lady Lancers. They were going to get a 10-second violation there, and they commit a foul 90 feet away from their own basket.
And that's Taylor Augello's 3rd foul of the game.
So
and she'll head to the bench. Wall defended closely by Mulig. Niedermeyer inside to Simon. Right back out. Listen to that maroon platoon, Mike. And I'll tell you what, Mike, that maroon platoon may have caused that turnover right there.
And I got to tell you, I don't think that's a turnover. I think they're going to switch the call, yeah. That was definitely tipped out of bounds. I was confused by the initial call there, but they got it right.
Nonetheless, a great effort from the maroon platoon.
They're definitely bringing the energy early in the second half.
3 ball. Caledine for 3. Andover leads by 3. Another turnover by the Lancers, but the Panthers give it right back.
The momentum is squarely in favor of the Panthers, and Elba head coach Tom Redband senses it. He calls a timeout. Elba is going to need to make something happen here if they want to keep this thing from getting out of hand the wrong way for them.
I'll tell you what, just like we were talking about with Elba's pressure, Andover has really upped the pressure, not in the full court, but in the half court, jumping passing lanes, staying in the gaps, not letting Elba get anything, not even a pass off these past few possessions.
And Elba looks really uncomfortable with the pressure right now, which is, surprising a little bit with just, how talented and how experienced this team is. But at the same time, we talked about earlier, their first 2 sectional games were pretty easy victories. They were both over just around halftime. So, this is the first game they are really in a game in the second half in sectional play, and maybe starting to feel the pressure a little bit. Obviously, all the expectations are on their side as the 3-time defending champions. Andover has nothing to lose in this game. No one expects them to win this game. They're coming in here and they're playing with house money.
And certainly not disagreeing with you, but it looks like from their play, they expected to win this game.
I think if you don't expect to win a game you go into, you shouldn't even come out onto the court.
Andover taking it to the Lancers. 3-point lead for the number 6 seed. Walzak to the rim, can't get it to go. Rebound to Brinkman, and she's fouled. That may be a key that the Lancers may benefit from, maybe drawing a couple fouls, getting to the rim and drawing a few of these fouls and going to the line, because it's going to be tough for them to finish inside that free throw line with all the size that the Panthers have.
And they're going to need to get some foul calls, but I got to tell you, the Andover interior defense has been really, really strong. They've played good defense and straight up in the air and haven't allowed anything easy and haven't committed any fouls, really.
2 for 2 for Brinkman, down to a 1-point Andover lead. Elba creating a lot of ball pressure on this possession. Wall inside to Niedermeyer. Rebound to Simon. Elba comes away with it. Here comes Mulig on the run. Augello, and that's a blocking foul coming up on the Panthers.
And Augello's got to be careful when she's going downhill like that. You mentioned she's got the 3 fouls, so you got to think the Lady Panthers are going to be looking to potentially take a charge in there when she looks to attack the basket downhill like that.
No good. Here comes Andover.
It just doesn't look like it's the Lady Lancers' night from the 3-point line so far. That's for sure.
At the same point in time, Mike, as a blocking call, while it's not their night, this is what good teams do, and even great teams do. When it's not their night, they find a way to win, and we'll see if the Lancers are able to do that tonight. Wall to Simon. Simon can't finish, but there's Niedermeyer.
I got to tell you, this is eerily similar to a college basketball game I watched earlier where a big upset was pulled. The Northern Iowa Panthers, who were 9-point favorites today, lost by 21 points in their conference tournament, and they're a great 3-point shooting team as well. but they had their worst three-point shooting game of the season this afternoon, and it led to them getting knocked out of their conference tournament early. And, you know, Elba kind of having the same struggles.
Niedermeyer, another rejection inside as Walzak, her signature reverse layup, has not been able to get that off, but Bizon knocks down a three. She's been big for the Lancers tonight. 8 points already for Bizon.
That's a big-time shot there, contested.
That one knocked away by Brinkman. That's going to send Caladine to the line for two.
Fouls on number 2, Maddie Muley. That's her second. Caitlin Caladine is shooting 2.
Caladine can't get that one to go. Rebound to Elba. Almost a turnover there. Inside to Augello, back out to Brinkman. Bizon. Knocked away by Wall. Skip pass to Walzak, back to Mulig. Can't find the range. Turnover. Here comes Wall. Wall attacks the rim. Charge! Maddie Mulig takes the charge.
Well, you mentioned Mulig can't buy a three-pointer tonight. But like you said, great teams find ways to win games other ways, and Maddie Mulig making winning plays on the defensive end of the floor for her team.
So Elba all tied with Andover now. 22 apiece. Bizon, she's been hot from three. Can't find it this time. Brinkman hustling after it. Wall comes away with it. And Andover will bring it up the floor. Inside to Simon. She just hasn't been able to finish in there, Mike.
Yeah, that's the third or fourth easy layup that the Lady Panthers have had that they didn't convert on, and remember those later.
Jello for three. Knocks it down. Elba back out in front.
And that's a huge 5-point swing there to put the Lady Lancers in front.
Timeout, Panthers. And don't look now, Mike, but the Lady Lancers could be finding their range right at the right time.
Yeah, we'll see if they can use that three-pointer to springboard into some sort of run here. But Andover has had the answer every time. It looked like Elba might be ready to go on a run. The Lady Panthers have responded at every turn tonight. So we'll see what they come up with out of this timeout. Got to believe Elba is going to bring some pressure here defensively.
Yes, I think this may be the moment that Coach Redband has been waiting for. Get a lead in the second half and then apply that pressure. Sometimes if you start applying that pressure too early, that allows the other team to figure it out before that second half comes around. And I think you saw that in the first half where Elba kind of went into it and came out of it. We'll see if they go back into it here at any point in the second half. Foul on Elba. And in a game, Mike, girls basketball, where you're able to get into the bonus in each quarter just by 5 fouls, we'll see if free throws wind up deciding this game. I believe Elba's had the free throw advantage as far as when they've been at the line, they've been able to hit them, while the Panthers have missed a few.
Yeah, but 2 minutes left in the third quarter, a chance for Got to attack the basket now if you're the Lady Panthers, as you're in the bonus the rest of the way. And like you said, those free throws could be your key to not allowing Elba to go on a run here.
Turnover. But it's going to be a jump ball, so no turnover. I guess you could call it a turnover. Ball back to the Panthers. I'm confusing myself here, Mike. 3-point Elba lead, 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Caledine headed to the line.
And right on cue, there's that, attack to the basket, draw a foul, give your chance for a couple easy ones.
That's her third, team 4. Caitlin Caledine will be shooting 2.
Just a reminder, we will have the Class D1 final following this game. That's between number 1 Fillmore and number 7 Pavilion. And Mike, that's 3 straight misses from the line for Caledine.
In close games, especially if you want to pull an upset, free throws are critical. And 2
Another
missed
miss
free
for
throws
Caledine.
there. Cannot miss free throws in close games, especially when you're trying to pull off an upset.
Engel looking for her first 3, can't get it. Wall to the rim. Walzak with the rebound. Walzak inside out all the way around to Engel. Mulick for 3. Can't find it, but Augello nearly grabbed the rebound. That looked like it went off Andover, but it's ruled off of Elba. Looked like it went off her foot there, Mike, the Andover player's foot, but yeah, John Anderson disagrees with me.
I
But
disagree with you as well.
I'm not so sure. Well, coming from 2 guys who are wearing glasses, I'm the only one without. I think I'll take my opinion over yours. Nonetheless, Panthers fail to convert, and here comes Elba looking to add to its 3-point lead. Very important possession here for Elba, Mike, looking to extend its lead before that fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely want to get some momentum heading into this last quarter.
Bizon for 3. Knocks it down! Leah Bizon's been red hot! And Elba leads by 6.
If Elba goes on to win this game, it'll be in large part because of Leah Bizon keeping their offense afloat.
Under 20 seconds to go. 5 seconds separate the game clock and the shot clock. 6-point Elba lead here in the third quarter. Andover had a 3-point lead at one point. Shot clock violation. Suffocating defense from the Lady Lancers. And with 4.6 on the clock, they have a chance to extend their lead. It's Elba's Lacey Sewer has checked on, but Elba turns it over, and we're going to head to the fourth quarter, Mike. A huge turn of events. Elba ends the third on a run, now up 6.
Yeah, those last couple possessions were huge in swinging the momentum of this game. The three-pointer by Bizon, the shot clock violation, and Elba finds themselves in front by 6 points, and they're looking to carry that momentum here the rest of the way to the finish line and capture what would be their 4th straight sectional championship.
All right, Mike. This one's going to come down to the end, but, well, it seems as if this one's going to come down to the end, excuse me. But I'll tell you what, if the Panthers don't come right out and throw the first punch of this fourth quarter, things could get out of hand. As you said, this Elba team has a tendency to put points on the board in bunches, and we saw it to end that third quarter. And Andover can't see it to start this fourth quarter.
First 3 minutes of this quarter are going to be critical. Andover's got to come out and go on a run to start this quarter, because if they let the floodgates open up, Elba can put you away in the blink of an eye.
So here we go. Elba will start the fourth with possession. Already up by 6. Can't give her room if you're Andover. She's been on fire from three-point land. But Bizon passed up the 3. Looked like she had an open chance. And that is a wide open chance. Oh, Jello. Elba ahead by 8.
And those are those driving lanes that open up after you start to knock down a couple three-pointers that Elba makes a living on offensively.
Wall! Count it! Hoop in the harm. Wall headed to the line.
Fouls on number 3, Leah Bizon. That's her third.
Third foul on Bizon.
Shooting 1.
It's a huge bucket there by Wall to keep her team within striking distance to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it seemed as if things were getting away from the Panthers, but a 3-point play brings them back within 5. Off the foot of Walzak, back to the Panthers.
And that's that Andover defense that's kept them in the game all night. And that's what they're going to need to try and go on a run here and get back in front.
Niedermeyer all the way to the rim. Panthers within 3.
It feels like those two are going to be the ones that keep Andover in this game if they're going to stay in it, Wall and Niedermeyer.
That's been the case all game. Timeout called by Elba. We'll be right back after this quick break. Mike, 6:32 to go. 3-point lead for Elba. They have the ball. You got to think that this is a huge possession.
Definitely a critical possession for how this last 6.5 minutes are going to play out. If Andover can get a stop.
Walzak! Corner 3! Her second three-pointer of the game. Elba back in front by 6.
And the stars are showing up here in the fourth. Wall and Walzak, big for their team so far.
Simon gets it away to Niedermeyer, over to Caladine. Simon can't get the finish, but there's Niedermeyer. She can't get it to go. Mulig on the rebound.
Those are just looks that you need to go down if you're Andover.
Walzak attacks the rim, draws the foul.
And Bryn Walzak now looks like she is ready to assert herself in this game. And if she gets rolling in this fourth quarter, she can be very tough to stop.
Walzak knocks down the first. Seven-point lead for Elba. Make it 8. Now this is winning time, Mike. This is where you expect the Lancers to show up and put the game away, but the Panthers are a team that does not seem like they allow other teams to do that very often.
They're not going to go down without a fight, but this is a big possession here. They need a basket.
Wall with the Euro step. I don't know if you call that a Euro step, just a drop step all the way to the rim. She's been impressive on both ends, Mike. I thought her defense was more impressive in the first half. Her offense has been more impressive in the second half.
It's not hard to see why she's a 17-point-per-game scorer.
3 ball for Bizon. Can't even draw iron. But there's Walzak for the rebound.
That was good defense by the Panthers, but you got to secure the rebound and finish the possession.
Walzak open for three. Off the front rim.
Got to think the ball is going to be in Wall's hands.
Three ball! Just like that, Andover back within 4 as Tess Spangenberg knocks down the three. 4:38 to go, Mike. 3-point game. Panthers won't go away.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge shot there. It looked like they were kind of just rotating around the perimeter, setting up their offense. And Spangenberg got a little bit of airspace, and she didn't hesitate one bit. Let it fly, knocked it down. And these Lady Panthers are playing with no fear in this game.
We do have to wish good luck to the Elba boys in the Class D2 sectional final tomorrow at Blue Cross Arena. NFHS Network will have that game live. I will be on the call for that one, as well as the other D final and the 2B finals tomorrow at Blue Cross Arena, so be sure to tune in for that. It should be a fun afternoon, but sure to be tiring for me as the first game set to go off at 9 a.m.
It's good for you that way, though.
Not so sure it's good for the players, but I understand why they're doing it, to get everyone the chance to play on the Blue Cross Arena's floor. And that's what they have to do to get it done. As Bizon gets it done, knocks down a mid-range jumper. Back to a 5-point Lancers lead. And you said it earlier, Mike, Bizon's been the MVP for the Lancers.
Yeah, she's been huge, and she's hit a number of big-time shots in this game. And, you know, sometimes she can be a forgotten individual on this team, but not today.
Spangenberg from the parking lot. Can't even draw iron as Elba gets the rebound. Mulig down the middle of the lane, uncontested. But she can't get the finish. She just has not had the touch tonight, Mike. But Lancers still find themselves ahead by 5, and that's a double dribble on Spangenberg. I'll tell you what, Mulig hasn't had it offensively, Mike, but she's been mighty impressive on defense, causing a couple of deflections, a couple steals. She has not been without an impact.
Yeah, all these ladies know, you know, they'll get the offense from somebody, but they all have to buy in defensively to be successful. And even on a night where she hasn't had the offensive stroke, she has been the MVP defensively.
Risky pass, kick out to Augello. 3-ball, Taylor Augello. 8-point Elba lead, their biggest, I believe, of the game, Mike.
Yeah, I think they had an 8-point lead at one other time, but yes.
Elba starting to pull away. Panthers trying to fight back. Caladine to Simon for the jumper. Rebound to Wall. Trying to get it to Spangenberg. She does. Niedermeyer on Walzak. Can't get the finish. Gets her own rebound. And Niedermeyer will head to the line. A foul called, I believe, on Walzak. 8-point lead for the Lancers, 2:41 to go. Yes, that was a long possession, Mike, as John Anderson astutely points out. Something the Panthers, they need to avoid down the stretch here, those long possessions, although it was a second chance opportunity.
Especially can't have a long possession where you don't cash in.
Niedermeyer knocks down the free throw. Simon checks out. Haley Niedermeyer checking in for the Panthers. It's going to be a foul called on Caladine as Mulig takes a spill. Mulig, a torn ACL, kept her out to begin the season, but she's fought her way back and continued to make an impact as the season's progressed here. 2:30 to go as Elba looks to chew up some clock. Oh, Jello from deep, no good. Rebound to Haley Niedermeyer.
Got to have a bucket here if you're Andover.
Wall to the rim, no good. Rebound to Bizon, and the foul will be called on Elba. Foul on Bizon. I don't know about that one, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't really see where that foul was. That's her fourth foul. Or excuse me, her third foul.
I thought you were right. I thought it was the fourth. I thought we announced earlier it was her third.
I'm pretty sure it is her fourth foul, even though our PA announcer here said it was her third.
3-ball from Wall. What an impressive player, Andover's Wall. She's kept her team in the game. 4-point Elba lead.
If that is 4 on Bizon, though, she's going to have to be careful the rest of the way. They need her out there the way she's played tonight.
Engel for 3. Lauren Engel, her first 3-pointer of the game, and it comes at a perfect time. Gives the Lancers a 7-point lead with 1:43 to go.
And I believe that's even her first basket of the game. And the senior, the only senior on this team, late in the game, steps up and hits a huge shot for her team.
Here we go, final 143. Elba in front by 7. But Emily Wall will not let this Panthers team die. Turnover. Able to regain.
Ball's got to be in Wall's hands here.
Wall to the rim, foul on the ground. I keep jumping the gun on these turnovers, Mike. A lot of these teams, or a lot of these plays, they're losing the ball, but they're able to regain.
Yeah, and that's just been showing you how much hustle both of these teams have put on display tonight.
Wall to Caladine. Attacks the basket, rejected by Bizon.
Lady Lancers can feel it now, last minute.
Walzak fouled on the floor. It's the Panthers' third, so they have 2 more to go before it'll send the Lancers to the line.
Just based on the way scoring's gone in this game, I feel like any kind of basket here for the Lady Lancers puts this thing away.
Under a minute to play. 7-point lead. The foul is called on. Foul called? What was that, Mike? I'm sorry.
That was a foul on Elba after they turned the ball over. They tried to force it inside. It's their 15th foul. And so it's 2 free throws now for Andover. Just a very questionable decision there by the Lady Lancers.
Elba faithful not happy with that call.
It was definitely a foul.
Wall misses the first. One of her first slip-ups of this game. Ball don't lie, Mike.
It was a foul. Nonetheless, a big free throw miss.
Wall needing to knock down the second. 0 for 2. Rebound to Simon, can't get it to go. Niedermeyer up with it. Simon up with it. Niedermeyer up with it. Niedermeyer and Simon doing the Mikan drill. Finally get it to go, and with 39 seconds to go, 5-point Elba lead, John Anderson.
They were both 2 rebounds away from a double-double, so they got it right there.
Perfect. So The Panthers very much in this game. 5-point Elba lead, 39 seconds to play.
Yeah, gonna come down to if Elba can hit some free throws to ice this game. If they can finish this thing off at the line, they'll be on their way to their 4th straight championship. If they miss some free throws, though, the door is certainly open, for Andover to climb their way back late in this one.
So here we go. Final 40 seconds. Ball inbounded to Walzak. She's fouled. One more foul to give.
Well, if you're going to foul, it was good that they did it quick. Not even a full second, I don't think, came off the clock there.
Walzak fouled again. It's a jump, or no, it's a jump ball. Ball will go to the Panthers. Once again, I jumped the gun. Thought it was a foul once again, but it's a jump ball. Panthers will take over possession.
And
37 seconds to play, 5-point Elba lead.
I don't know how you can call that a jump when they're standing out of bounds.
Well, I think they carried the jump ball together out of bounds. Niedermeyer with the bucket. Elba leads by just 3, and a whistle was blown before that turnover.
The clock didn't
and a
stop
timeout was called by Andover. 31 seconds to play. 3-point lead for Elba. Timeout Andover. We'll take a quick break and let this anticipation build. Me and Mike having an argument over whether or not that could have been ruled a jump ball. Mike, your side.
Just to me, it looks like, we have simultaneous possession, like you say, which would be a jump, but they called it after both players are already out of bounds. So to me, that's out of bounds on whoever stepped on the end line first with possession of the ball.
And for me, it's simultaneous possession, and in that case, I believe a jump ball is called, and I believe they got the correct call. Mike disagrees. Maybe we'll find out in between games.
And I'm not so much upset with the jump ball call. I think it was maybe just a little late, and if they blow the whistle earlier, we're not even having this conversation. So that could have just been the case that happened there.
And a missed opportunity by Andover as they intercepted the inbounds pass, but had already called timeout before the pass was made. So, excuse me, my voice cracking. As the pass was already made, or no, the pass wasn't made before the timeout was taken, so.
And Elba used a timeout there so they could advance the ball into the front court. So good decision there by Elba head coach Tom Redband.
Well, no, Andover called that timeout.
Elba called a timeout right
again,
after because
gotcha.
you can't advance on your opponent's timeout.
Gotcha. So Walzak will head to the line looking to pad, as my voice cracks again, pad this 3-point lead for Elba.
We got a whole nother game ahead of us. You better make sure your voice is going to hold up.
I have been sick. I hope I don't have the coronavirus. Walzak knocks down the first. It's a big free throw, gives them a 4-point lead. That one rims out, but it's rebounded by Bizon, the worst case scenario for the Panthers. Another foul. This will send Mulig to the line. Worst case scenario for Andover.
Just could not afford that. You have to secure the rebound after a missed free throw there when you're trying to come back late in games.
Mulig makes the first. 5-point lead for Elba, 25 seconds away from what will be their fourth straight sectional title.
That's Elba basketball.
Another jump ball. This one's going to go to Elba.
Well, we argued about whether it was a jump ball earlier, and it proves to be a big play. If they don't call it earlier, that would have been Andover ball.
Correct. Bizon fouled. She'll head to the line. 5-point lead for Elba.
2 free throws here probably puts this game on ice.
Bizon, money all night, money when it counts. 6-point lead for Elba now, 22.2 to go.
Fitting she's the one at the free throw line here.
And John Anderson believes that one's the dagger. Time ticking under 20 seconds to go. 7-point Elba lead. Turnover by Andover. And that's going to just about do it as Mulig is fouled. And with 7 seconds to go, Mike, it looks like these free throws are a formality. Your player of the game quickly.
I would go with Leah Bizon for Elba.
Would have to agree with you. Mulig knocks down that free throw. As time has expired on our clock, you may see we were experiencing a lag with our computer, but we have it back up. Another offensive rebound for the Lancers. And Andover is going to call off the Dogs. That's going to do it. 3 is sweet. What's 4? 4 in a row for the Lancers. Elba head coach Tom Redband and his Lady Lancers have just won their 4th straight sectional title with a 48-40 victory over Andover. Andover made it tough, but once again, Elba's championship medal comes through, and the Lancers champions in Section 5 once again.
Yeah, great teams win the games even when it's not their night. And tonight wasn't the Lady Lancers' best performance by any stretch of the imagination. But when it was crunch time late, they made all the winning plays necessary, and they come away with their 4th consecutive Section 5 Class D2 championship.
And what a testament to these girls' hard work and the hard work of the Elba coaching staff. This team's been together a long time, will continue to be together going into next season with the exception of Lauren Engel. And Elba 1 win away from that Far West Regional, which has been a bugaboo of theirs. They have yet to get past that round during this streak of championships.
Maybe 4th time's the charm.
That's what they say. And as the trophy presentation is getting underway, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you for joining us live from Letchworth High School for the Class D2 final. Elba 48-40 winners over Andover. My name's Alex Brasky for Mike Rose and John Anderson for the NFHS Network and the Batavia Daily News, signing off. Join us just about in a half hour for the Class D1 final between number 1 Fillmore and number 7 Pavilion. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in about a half hour.